their ability to choose the activities that they want to do will then make it so that their assignments are completed and they are actually using their strategies on them. So I was going to look for things like that.
So that sounds really good. Sorry.
That's okay.
I had muted myself.
Oh.
Because I was typing and I didn't want the click to be bothering you.
That's okay.
I had a moment once at a Better Lesson meeting that was embarrassing for me, but it's okay because, I mean, I know all these people, that's fine. But I was in a meeting, I think it was a team meeting, and the COO of our company, Aaron Osborne, was there. And I was attending the meeting virtually, of course, because I'm not there. And I was typing and I forgotten to mute my microphone. And she was like, in a big room, there's a lot of things going on. And she's like, I hear one click on a keyboard somewhere. Remote people, turn off your microphone. And I was like,
oh no!
But at least it's a sound of work,
right?
So I think this little exercise that we went through together is going to be really helpful because it sounds like we've narrowed it down to like a group that we want to study. Mm-hmm. And I think the studying of that group, the tracking of that group, may that be the whole first block or the 4 to 5 students you want to, I'll let you think about that and choose it. But focusing on them in our next conversation will make you make progress, right? It's that idea of like, if I'm all of a sudden I have a better lens and I know what I'm looking at, who I'm looking at and what I'm looking at, it makes a difference already it's going to make a difference in the outcome. Right. And then it looks like we could look at 2 things. We could look at their results, of course, down the road. But before we get their results, like how are they going to do the activities? Do you need to talk to someone? Don't worry.
No, I was just looking at I've got Teach Cycle up. I was going to type a note in.
Yeah.
to remind myself.
Yeah, well, you could do that. Definitely. In the strategy, for example, where you already put your plan in some of the artifacts, I would do that. And then, so for these kids, I think looking in terms of what you said, are they going to just be more engaged in the activity, rush through them again, or do them better, et cetera, et cetera? I think this is going to be a really good experiment. I'm excited to do that.
Yeah,
I think this could be a really good strategy that eventually we'll be able to publish in your portfolio or beyond. So what artifacts do we have so far? We have, I cannot access your Google Doc that you share with me.
Oh, I'll upload it a different way.
No. You just have to change the settings. Because when I click, there's one that is a Google Doc and there's another one that is a screenshot.
Yep.
The Google Doc one, when I try to open the link, it says you don't have permission. So I think I already requested this from you. So if you give me permission.
I'll fix that.
And this one is like the way you introduce it to the kids, right?
Yes.
And is it like
I'll fix that right now.
Okay, perfect. Is it like a Google Doc? Is it like a video? What is it?
It's a worksheet that they used to. It's a student handout that they use to reflect.
Okay, and so that I would love to see that. I think your slide for like how to make a plan is really helpful. I think I would love to add a few artifacts next time we meet to that we can look at together. One way I've helped some of my best teachers think about it is, let's say if this idea of testing ends up being a really good one, what would you need to present about it at a conference?
Okay. Probably how to use the document, first of all. How I walked students through the reflection process, because that reflection was really critical, in my opinion. It enabled them to really think through what they'd done well, what challenges they have, and a goal for themselves. I think I've fixed it so that you can see it.
Thank you.
But the reflection sheet is very simple. It just has 3 little boxes. Of the successes they've had, and then moving on to the challenges they've faced, and finally setting a goal for themselves of not only what skill they want to practice, but what types of activities they're interested in doing before they even see the list of options. Reflecting on their own learning style. Do you like technology learning? Do you prefer games and hands-on activities? Do you learn best from worksheets? And then when they've finished their reflection, they were able to flip their paper over and see the list of activities on the smartboard and make their work plan. So they had to go.
Yeah. So I
walked through them step by step.
I think you're completely right. Like a handout is one thing, but the way you use it is another thing. since it's already happened, I think probably one way we could deal with it that would be low cost on your end. Do you know how to screencast?
Yes, I do.
You could record a quick screencast over how you use the doc and add this as one of your artifacts, and this kind of like show your like the teacher moves. That would be. I don't think that would be too much time of work, and I think that would be a really helpful way for you also to explain that. Definitely think that would be great. And then I'm thinking about evidences of impact in a conference would be really helpful. So once you have chosen your subgroup, like we could have screenshots of the data of that subgroup over the course of a cycle that you're going to decide to work with them on. And then when it comes to the engagement, I mean, I think probably the easiest thing to do is we'd have to have your students in action, which it's one of the few, I think, artifacts we haven't had together this year. Right. And so I'll be excited to try to see if we can get to that space.
I was thinking I'm probably going to adjust the reflection sheet. Not very much, but I want to change some of the wording to make it less based on your data from the last test you took and more based on your data, overall. But I liked starting the week with a reflection. I think that that's going to be something I want to do from now on. Start off, if not the week, then at least, once each child has finished their pathway, they meet with me and we go through this reflection document together. I don't want it to be something they do on their own.
Yeah.
I want it to be more of a guided reflection.
So you think that could be an important piece also to the puzzle to have there?
Yes. So I might, depending on whether I do it full group or individual, I might video record that process of how I walk the kids through the reflection and how they thought through their goals and that sort of thing.
I think that's a really good idea. I think it's a really good idea if it's not too much work for you. I think when they're working in the Yoda Master system and you do this session where they come kind of like on demand or based on needs and then they make their menu, that's another interesting one to capture. It'll be hard for you to capture yourself because you're busy. So I would encourage you to ask for help, somebody who could do it for you. But I think that could be really interesting too for you, not just for featuring it to somebody else. Because if we watch it together, you might be able to see certain things you don't easily see if you're in the middle of teaching a group or something like that. So that gives us a lot of options. Of course, as always, Tori, I want to make sure we're in that soft zone. That's why I've decided to call it now. But I think I'm going to find a better term. To me, the soft zone is the zone that is outside your comfort zone. Otherwise, there is no real learning. So the work we do together needs to be there. Otherwise, it's all nice and all, but you're not going to feel pushed. But it doesn't have to. It cannot be so far out of it that you're going to be totally overwhelmed. So I really want to reassure you with that piece that I think we're outlining some ideas of interesting artifacts, but it doesn't mean that next time we meet, if you don't have them all, I will be disappointed. Right?
In psychology, we call it the ZPD, the zone of proximal development.
There you go. It is such a better term because it already exists and what I'm trying to name it.
No, but I like yours better because it's hard to say that zone of proximal development. It sounds too sounds too technical.
So let's continue to try to work in your zone of proximal development. And at any point when you're sitting down to do these things, if when you're doing them, you're about to do it and you feel like, oh my gosh, can do this, it's probably a sign that it's not in that zone. Right?
Yeah.
So I want to keep it exciting and I want to keep it good. So we have a meeting, I think, 2 weeks from now because we're automatically scheduled. So maybe 2 weeks from now, we could try to talk again about Yoda Master and see if we can start focusing on that subgroup and see what pieces of the puzzle you were able to gather for us to look at and continuing studying this new idea because I think it's really, really cool.
Yeah, I think that works. I'm excited to sort of see how it evolves. I think it's going to definitely evolve. So I'm looking forward to
but I think you always also in the learner stand. So you prepared to adapt and adjust to what we're going to see. And you know, I try not to fall in love with the ideas that I help teachers doing or myself when I was doing them because when you do